Hey everyone, it's Raust, and I wanted to talk today about the GOAT Format Championship 8 that happened on the 20th of June. Everyone appeared to have a good time, and there were some absolutely fantastic games which you can view on the stream that was uploaded prior to this video. But what I wanted to talk in particular about is how to win at one of these championships events, and who won this championship other than the Mensch. Now, this player has been a consistently top performing player in our tournaments, but this is the first one that he has taken first place on, and he has gone undefeated. So let's have a look at his deck really quickly. So looking at the main deck, it looks to be a fairly standard aggro deck with a chaos engine. The thing that sticks out most to me about this main deck is skill drain. Now, if I was building this deck, I would say that skill drain is kind of like some anti-synergy with solemn judgment and ring destruction, as there's a lot of life point loss here, and you're going to be low on life points very early on if you manage to draw all of these cards. However, I can't deny that it did indeed work for the Mensch, and I did see him activate skill drain with great effect each time. Another thing to note about skill drain is that he was able to surprise his opponents. I don't think anyone was really expecting a skill drain to randomly crop up, because it wouldn't have necessarily cropped up on even game 1 as it's a one-off. So the random skill drain is very unpredictable, and to be unpredictable is the key to winning in a load of tournaments. So looking onto the side deck, we can see that there's a heavy Gravekeeper strategy going on here, with 3 terraforming in order to grab Necro Valley. Now, of the games I watched, I witnessed the Mensch pretty much exclusively go into Gravekeepers in games 2 and 3 because he was always playing against Chaos. Necro Valley, of course, stops the Chaos monsters from being summoned in the first place and powers up his Gravekeepers, and this in combination meant your average Chaos player could not withstand the aggressive nature of the Mensch's deck. So I've explained the Mensch's deck, but what did he actually do in order to win the tournament? For me, this victory had been decided before the tournament had even taken place. The Mensch had won this tournament by the deck building phase. Essentially what he did is that he predicted he would be going against a lot of Chaos matchups, and he prepared accordingly for those matchups, i.e. he put in loads of Gravekeepers, loads of Necro Valley to completely smokescreen into these Gravekeepers, and they have a good matchup against Chaos. In other words, he made a prediction on the meta and he committed to it 100%. And yeah, it paid off for him with a win for GFC8 and an invite to GOAT Format Worlds. It's worth noting as well, if we look at our pie chart here of the metagame composition, it would appear that Chaos actually makes up more than 25% of the decks that were used in GFC8. But it's not just Chaos that Gravekeepers are good against. You've got your Dimension Fusion turbos, your Chaos turbos, even your Go Control suffers from Necro Valley. And what makes things worse is that no one was prepared for a Gravekeeper's side, so they all just kind of flopped to it. This pie chart also leads me on nicely to talking about what a metagame actually is. So meta stands for most effective tactic available. Now, if we were to take this definition at face value and apply it to GOAT format, we would see that there really isn't a meta that encompasses GOAT format as a whole. Instead, it would appear that the meta is something that occurs every time a tournament takes place. So, in other words, in order to win a tournament, you must first know what the meta of that tournament is going to be. Or, more accurately, I suppose you could say you have to predict what the meta is going to be. If we take a look at the last GFC winner, Everfall, we can see that this deck also breaks the mold of what you would typically expect a GOAT format deck to be. Before watching this video, what did you expect the Mensch's deck to be like? Probably not like this at all. Definitely not a full smokescreen side deck into Gravekeepers. I'm hoping this gives a bit more insight to you as to why I don't give specific examples on how to win and rather say experiment for yourself, because sometimes you just have to go against the grain of what's popular at the time in order to pull ahead. You need to be one step ahead of the competition. In the next GOAT Format Championships, I doubt we will see the Mensch play a Gravekeeper side. He will be amending his deck again in order to adapt to what's coming up next. Now, I know this is intimidating, but keeping track of what the Discord is talking about and what is being discussed on other GOAT format forums, what's doing well in tournaments, Playing with all this information in mind is really what you need to do in order to be the best at GOAT format. Because in GOAT Format Championship 8 specifically, we saw a lot of players copying the deck of Suski, who was a successful player in the GOAT Format Championships before that. And ultimately, these players who copied the deck lists did not end up winning the tournament. And with that, I hope I've explained on how to win a tournament. If you want to gather more information in order to win at GOAT Format, then you can join our Discord, which will be linked in the description. But that's all I've got for now, so I'll see you on the next video.